Maria Ressa and Dmitry Muratov, journalists whose work has angered those in power in the Philippines and Russia, shared the 2021 Nobel Peace Prize. Ressa and Muratov were awarded for their courageous fight for freedom of expression in their countries. The committee said the award was an endorsement of free speech rights at a time when democracy is increasingly under threat.
Rappler has focused critical attention to the Duterte regime's controversial, murderous anti-drug campaign. The number of deaths is so high that the campaign resembles a war waged against the country's own population. Ms. Ressa and Rappler have documented how social media is being used to spread fake news, harass opponents, and manipulate the public discourse. Dmitry Muratov has for decades defended freedom of speech in Russia under increasingly challenging conditions. In 1993, he was one of the founders of the independent newspaper Novaya Gazeta.
58-year-old Maria Ressa said that the prize shows that nothing is possible without facts. Ressa is a co-founder of Rappler, a digital media company for investigative journalism. Ressa and her company have faced multiple criminal charges and investigations for publishing stories critical to Duterte's policies, especially his bloody drug war.
I guess what this just shows is that the Nobel Peace Prize Committee realized that a world without facts means a world without truth and trust. And if you don't have any of those things, you certainly can't conquer coronavirus. You can't conquer climate change. I've been saying this over and over, and it feels a little bit like, Sisyphus rolling the rock up the hill. And when you get attacked in the process of trying to roll the rock up the hill, you just kind of dodge, you keep going. And it's a shock. But the fact that a journalist from the Philippines and a journalist from Russia won the Nobel Peace Prize tells you about the state of the world today and the state of the Philippines.
Maria Ressa is currently on bail pending an appeal against a conviction last year in a cyber libel case, for which she could face up to 6 years in prison. Ressa and Rappler also focused on and documented how social media is being used to push fake news, harass political opponents and manipulate public discourse. She said that the honour would give her and her colleagues tremendous energy to continue their fight.
When you attack the media, oftentimes it's about shooting the messenger. We're trying to solve that in many different ways, but the recognition of how difficult it is to be a journalist today is for you, Rappler. And I hope, energy for all of us to continue the battle for facts.
59-year-old Muratov is one of Russia's most respected journalists. He's been a Kremlin critic and is the co-founder of Russia's leading independent newspaper, Novaya Gazeta. Over the last 27 years, Muratov's newspaper, which is known for investigative reports on human rights abuses and corruption, has come under increasing government pressure. It's also been the target of cyber attacks, and 6 journalists of Novaya Gazeta, the highest number for a single Russian newspaper, have been suspiciously killed since the year 2000. The newspaper's reporter, Anna Politskaya, was murdered back in 2006. Her killing drew global attention to risks faced by Russians who dare to speak out against those in power. Despite the killings, though, Muratov refused to abandon the newspaper's independent policy. Muratov dedicated his half of the prize to the 6 journalists of Novaya Gazeta who lost their lives.
The impunity of human rights activist Natalia Estemirova certainly led to the fact that those who perform repressive maneuvers against Russian journalism think that they have powerful allies, Russian law enforcement agencies and authorities. If they could not solve the murder for 15 years, it probably means that they know but don't want to say. This is exactly how the impunity has affected our guild.
The Kremlin congratulated Muratov. President Vladimir Putin's spokesperson told media that Muratov is talented, courageous and committed to his ideals.
Здравствуйте, спасибо большое, что пришли. Наши европейские сыщики не смогли задержать киллера. Может быть, политического запроса на это не было?